Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the WHN broadcast. My name is Ben Calderwood. Dr. Eric Feigl-Ding is back with us today. Eric, we wanted to ask your opinion about the recent measles outbreaks we've been seeing across several states now, and what led us here. That is, why we are now having to grapple with a virus that had been largely eliminated in the United States.
Yeah, this is very worrisome because measles should be gone. We have really great vaccines that, people don't need to update every year. Like measles should be gone, but yet somehow it's resurging. Oftentimes, it is mainly in recent years because of the anti-vaccine movement. In many ways, COVID accelerated the anti-vaccine movement where people are not just anti-COVID vaccine, but now they're anti-all vaccines. And vaccination rates have hit an all-time low against measles in the United States. And this is especially worrisome that for measles, because it's so highly contagious, it's more airborne than COVID, it's more transmissible, that you need, herd immunity threshold at least 95% or higher. And only 13 out of 50 states have achieved 95% of under five vaccination rates against measles. The MMR vaccine is quite low in some places, below 90 as in many states as well. And in Florida, especially, Florida's only at like 89 or 90%. I also want to remind people that even if a certain area, a certain state is like 95 or above 95, that's the average. Oftentimes, the vaccination rates are uneven. Some places could have 99% vaccination rates, and some places in the same community or the next city could have, 50, 20% vaccination rates. And even if the state overall seems pretty high in vaccination rates, it's not an overall, it's what the local vaccination rates in your community are. And you can still have a lot of super spreading outbreak pockets and epidemics. And that's oftentimes what we're seeing. Florida, by the way, they're not even counting measles cases that are not Floridian full-time residents. And so we don't actually know. Honestly, there's articles out there. We actually don't know how many truly the measles there are. They're not testing to confirm everything, and they're not reporting them if they're not Floridian residents. Hence this outbreak, could get much worse, and we're seeing it across the pond in the UK. UK's a declared emergency. UK says well over 1,000 cases of measles in 2024 alone. And so this is where it can easily get worse. And the measles is so damaging to your immune system that if you get measles, not only is it very severe, there's high levels of hospitalization, but it wipes and heavily eliminates the immune system memory that you have against other viruses. So you know how your body fights a virus, remembers I have natural immunity to fight now against the virus if I see it again. Well, measles, if you get infected, wipes out that memory bank of you fighting other viruses. So it's almost like a big reset. You can, the degree of reset varies between people, but in the worst case scenario, it can reset you to like a naive infant who has never faced other viruses, and your body doesn't remember how to fight these other viruses that you've been trained to fight against. Measles can do that. So it could actually unleash a cataclysmic wave of other infections, make you vulnerable to so many other infections. That's why we have to stop measles, and especially since it's so transmissible. Tracing and stopping measles is so paramount. But somehow, here we are. We have people denying the severity of measles, not vaccinating, and for a virus that's eliminated, we are back in this dystopian world of fighting a virus that we have really good vaccine against.
You're leaning in the direction of our second question when you're talking about, measles altering your immune memory. Let's talk more about what potential long-term consequences are of ignoring these outbreaks.
Yeah, I think many ways, if we let this thing burn, in certain ways, it's like a crack in a dam that if the crack grows, it's going to beget even a greater cracks and greater cracks until it endangers the rest of the community. Because as anti-vaccine sentiment grows, it will leach to so many other things. And as measles grows, then exponentially there will be more people susceptible to more other viruses and pathogens that they previously have, immune memory cells that remember them, how to fight them. And they could be eliminated, and it could unleash a wave of other infections. It's almost like it could actually unleash a dam. Like if we lose the battle to measles, which we shouldn't because we have such good vaccines against 2 shots, it could unleash a dam and that actually floods the entire valley and of other epidemic kind of things that's holding it back, because measles disrupting our immune system could actually create a societal wide immunodeficiency, right? And that's literally what it creates. It resets us, and this we have to fight back against. This is not just, oh, we'll just get a burn through. In certain ways during COVID, as people are like, oh, we'll just get infected and then we'll be immune to afterwards and we'll be fine. No, measles is inherently the thing that will actually undermine your immunity against so many other things. So stopping measles is so much more important than just stopping the flu per se. It's not just the flu, and it's not just like COVID. It is in certain ways potentially much worse. Luckily, we have good vaccines, but unfortunately, the anti-vaccine movement is growing. And I'm really worried for the future, because it could be pockets of outbreaks now, but as the vaccine rates keep dropping, it'll drop to a point where we're going to get so many more outbreaks, and that will exponentially spawn so many other outbreaks of other diseases. So I hope we get this under control.
I thank you once again, Dr. Eric Feigl-Ding, for your insight into long-term consequences about measles outbreaks and so much other immune-related content. I want to thank you for joining us again on the broadcast. If you'd like to learn more about the World Health Network, you can find us online at whn.global. We hope you'll visit the website, learn about what we do, and consider joining. Thank you so much. See you next time.